Hello, friends. If you are receiving Social Security or you are getting close, I want you to hear something that does not get said often enough. Your monthly check is not a fixed number handed down from on high. It is the result of a long list of decisions, some you made, some the government made for you, and some that simply slipped through the cracks. And a handful of common mistakes can quietly shave real money off that check month after month, year after year, for the rest of your life, without anyone ever pointing it out to you. Today I am going to walk you through 5 of those mistakes. For each one I will tell you why it matters, the exact slip that millions of seniors make, and the one step you can take to check it or fix it. Stay with me all the way to the end, because the 5th one is the one that quietly drains money out of the most checks, and almost nobody realizes it is even happening to them. Before we get into it, do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on the bell. The Social Security rules shift every single year. The cost of living adjustment, the earnings limits, the Medicare premiums that come out of your check, all of it moves, and nobody mails you a personal explanation. The folks subscribed here hear about it while there is still time to act. The ones who are not usually find out after the money is already gone. Hit subscribe, turn on that bell, and let us get into it. Let me start with the biggest one, the mistake that costs more total dollars than any other, and it is the decision of when to claim. Here is the part that catches people. If your full retirement age is 67, which it now is for everyone born in 1960 or later, and you claim the very first month you are eligible at 62, your monthly benefit is permanently cut by 30%, not for a year, not until you reach some later age, permanently for the rest of your life. On a benefit that would have been $2,000 at 67, claiming at 62 drops you to about $1,400. That is $600 a month gone, every month you live. The mistake is treating 62 as the normal default age to file just because it is the earliest you can. People do it without ever running the numbers, and then they are locked in. And here is what makes it worse over time. Every cost of living raise you ever get is calculated off that reduced number, so the gap between what you get and what you could have gotten actually widens with every passing year. So here is what to do. Before you file, find out your real full retirement age and what your benefit would be at 67 and at 70. For every year you wait past your full age, up to 70, your benefit grows by about 8%, which can add up to roughly 24% more for life. Now, claiming early is not always wrong. If you are in poor health or you simply need the income to live, taking it early can be the right call. The point is to make it an eyes-open decision, not a default. If you have some savings or a working spouse to lean on for a few years, waiting often pays off for the rest of your life. Now stay with me, because the second mistake is one almost nobody checks, and it can be quietly dragging your check down right now. That second mistake is never looking at your own earnings record. Here is what most people do not understand about how your benefit is figured. Social Security takes your 35 highest earning years, adjusts each one for inflation, and averages them together. That average is the foundation of your entire check. And that record was built year by year from reports your employer sent in over your whole working life. Sometimes those reports were wrong. A year where your boss reported the wrong amount. A year that shows up as 0 when you know you were working. A year that is just missing. The mistake is assuming the government got it all right and never checking. Nobody at Social Security is reviewing your record for errors. They take the numbers they have and calculate your check, and if a good earning year is recorded as a low year or a 0, your check is smaller than it should be, and it stays that way silently for years. So here is what to do. Go to SSA.gov and set up your free My Social Security account if you do not have one. Open your statement and look at the earnings history year by year, going all the way back to your first job. Compare those numbers against whatever you have kept, old tax returns, WA-2 forms, pay stubs. If you find a year that is wrong, missing, or showing 0 when you actually worked, you can file a correction with the proof and Social Security will fix it. Your highest earning years matter most because those are the ones that go into the average. This is especially worth doing if you were self-employed, changed jobs often, or worked back in the days of paper payroll. Let me pause, because the third mistake breaks my heart every time I see it, and it hits widows and widowers hardest. When a husband or wife passes away, the surviving spouse is entitled to a survivor benefit, which can be up to 100% of what the late spouse was receiving if that amount is larger than the survivor's own check. And here is something many people do not know. A survivor benefit can begin as early as age 60. The mistake is staying on your own smaller benefit or assuming Social Security automatically put you on the bigger one. It does not always work that way, and a surviving spouse can go years collecting hundreds of dollars less than they were entitled to. There is also a smart strategy most people are never told about. In some cases, a widow or widower can take the survivor benefit earlier while letting their own retirement benefit keep growing to 70, then switch to their own larger amount later, or the other way around. These are two separate benefits, and they do not have to be claimed at the same time. So here is what to do. If you have lost a spouse, call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213 and ask them directly to compare both benefits, your own and the survivor benefit, and to confirm you are receiving the higher one. Ask specifically whether a switching strategy makes sense for your situation. They will generally not volunteer this. You have to ask. Now stay with me, because the fourth mistake is one couples make constantly, and it leaves money sitting on the table. This one is the spousal benefit. If your husband or wife has claimed Social Security and their benefit is much larger than yours, you may be entitled to a spousal amount worth up to half of their full retirement benefit instead of or on top of your own smaller check. On a spouse whose full benefit is $2,400, that spousal amount can be as much as $1,200. The mistake is assuming Social Security set this up for you automatically when you applied. Your own retirement benefit and any spousal amount you might qualify for are looked at together, but if you filed years ago on your own record and never asked about the spousal piece, it is worth a second look because plenty of couples never get the higher amount they were due. So here is what to do. If you are collecting on your own record and your spouse gets a meaningfully bigger check, call Social Security and ask whether a spousal top-up applies to you. Have both of your Social Security numbers ready. It is one phone call, and it can mean a permanent bump in your monthly income. That brings me to the fifth one, the mistake I promised you, the one quietly draining the most checks, because it happens automatically before the money ever reaches you. Here it is. Your Medicare Part B premium comes straight out of your Social Security check before you ever see it. In 2026, the standard amount is $202.90 a month, and that is the same year the cost of living raise was only 2.8%. For a lot of people, that premium increase ate up a big chunk of their raise, so the check barely grew at all. And it gets worse for higher earners. If your income from 2 years ago was above about $109,000 as a single person or $218,000 as a couple, the government tax an extra surcharge on top called IRMA, and it can add hundreds of dollars a month, all pulled silently out of your check. The mistake is never questioning it, even when your income has dropped. Because the government looks at your tax return from 2 years back, a person who has since retired, lost a spouse, or sold a property can be paying a surcharge based on money they no longer make. So here is what to do. Look closely at how much is being taken out of your check for Medicare. If you are paying that extra surcharge and your income has gone down because of retirement, the death of a spouse, divorce, or fewer work hours, you can appeal it. The form is called SSA 44. You fill it out, attach proof of your current income, and Social Security can lower or erase the surcharge. Most people paying it never knew an appeal existed. And here is one quick bonus worth a few seconds, because it surprises so many people. If you claim Social Security before your full retirement age and you are still working, there is an earnings limit. In 2026, if you are under full retirement age all year and earn more than $24,480, the government holds back $1 for every two you earn above that. The good news is that money is not lost forever. Once you reach full retirement age, your benefit is recalculated and you get credited back for it. But if you do not know the rule, that withheld amount can feel like your check just vanished with no explanation. So let us bring it all together. Mistake 1, claiming early and locking in a permanent cut without running the numbers. Mistake 2, never checking your earnings record for errors and 0 years that drag down your average. Mistake 3, a widow or widower staying on the smaller benefit instead of the survivor benefit. Mistake 4, a married person missing the spousal top-up they were entitled to. And mistake 5, letting the Medicare premium and that IRMAA surcharge quietly drain your check when you may be able to lower it. Every one of these is fixable or worth checking, and not a single one will get fixed unless you take the step yourself. Social Security is not going to call you. The only difference between the people who collect every dollar they earned and the people who quietly lose some of it is knowing where to look and picking up the phone. If this helped you, please subscribe and share it with someone you love who is on Social Security or getting close, a parent, a neighbor, a friend at church. One short conversation could put real money back in their pocket every single month. I'll see you in the next one.